first met in person with Mary E. in the summer of 2007. I had arranged with her husband of 15 years, Terrence, to see her for an interview.
Hello?
Hi, my name is Terrence. I'm calling because you had an ad in the local paper. You were looking for an interesting story.
Well, what kind of story are we talking about here?
I'm not too sure, really. It's about my wife, Mary. She's been really quiet, but I'm sure she has a lot to share. It's been bothering her for years.
Alright, sounds like just what I've been looking for.
We scheduled the interview for a particular weekend when I wasn't busy with any other event. Mary had initially agreed, since I was not a newsman, but rather an amateur writer gathering information for a few early college assignments, and if all went according to plan, some pieces of fiction.
Come in. Thanks for coming out. Mary's not in the mood for an interview, though.
Really, what's wrong?
I don't know. She's in the bathroom crying about who knows what.
Do you mind if I go talk to her?
I've tried for like 15 minutes, but good luck.
It's this way.
The things Mary said made little sense, but fit the pattern I was expecting. Though I could not see her, I could tell from her voice that she was crying. And more often than not, her objections to speaking with me centered around an incoherent diatribe of her dreams.
Mary, get out here. The reporter's here.
No! I can't do it! I had the dream again last night!
Mary, this has been going on for 15 years. Come out here and do the interview.
No! I'm not gonna listen to it!
How long has she been like this?
There, let's go to the dining room. We need to talk about something. I'm sorry about Mary's behavior. How we called you out for an interview and all.
I did my best to take it in stride, to recall that I wasn't a reporter in search of a story, but merely a curious young man in search of information. Besides, I thought at the time that I could perhaps find another similar case if I put my mind and resources to it.
It was back in 1992 when we first came across smile.jpg. She was working as a system operator in a Chicago-based bulletin board system. We had only been married for about 5 months. Mary was one of 400 people who saw this image. The rest remain anonymous, possibly dead.
In 2005, when I was only in 10th grade, smile.jpg was first brought to my attention by my burgeoning interest in web-based phenomena. Mary was the most often cited victim of what is sometimes referred to as smile.dog, the being smile.jpg is reputed to display. What caught my interest was the sheer lack of information, usually to the point that people don't believe it even exists other than a rumor or a hoax. It is unique because, though the entire phenomenon centers on a picture file, that file is nowhere to be found on the internet. Any smile dog images found on the web are suspected to be fake, as they don't have the effect that true smile.jpg appears to have. It's been rumored victims have sudden onset temporal lobe epilepsy and acute anxiety. This can lead to epileptic fits during sleep, resulting in extremely vivid and disturbing nightmares. This can be treated with medication, so I assume Mary was not taking any. Neither smile.jpg or smile.dog is mentioned anywhere on Wikipedia. Those who claim to have seen smile.jpg often weakly joke that they were far too busy to save a copy of the picture to their hard drive. However, all alleged victims offer the same description of the photo. A dog-like creature, illuminated by the flash of a camera, sits in a dim room, the only background detail that is visible being a human hand extending from the darkness near the left side of the frame. The hand is empty, but is usually described as beckoning. Of course, most attention is given to the dog. The muzzle of the beast is repeatedly split in a wide grin, revealing 2 rows of very white, very straight, very sharp, very human-looking teeth. After my visit with Mary and Terrence, I sent out feelers to several folklore and urban legend-oriented websites and mailing lists, hoping to find more info on smile.jpg. For a time I heard nothing about the matter until the start of March 2008 when I received an email from Mary.
Dear Mr. L, I'm incredibly sorry about my behavior last summer when you came to interview me. I hope you understand that it was no fault of yours, but rather my own problems that led me to act out as I did.
Knock! Oh, hey, how's it going?
Good, I just got off work.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I got this in the mail. Were you expecting a package or anything?
Who's it from?
No idea. There's no return address.
We'll open it up. Let's see. Well.
Hey. Well, it's just some advertising, I guess. I'm just gonna throw it away. For 15 years, I've been haunted by smile.jpg. Smile.dog comes to me in my sleep every night. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. There's an ineffable quality about my dreams, my nightmares rather, to make them completely like any other real dreams I've ever had. I do not move and I do not speak. I simply look ahead, and the only thing ahead of me is that scene from that horrible picture. I can see the beckoning hand, and I see Smile.dog. It is not a dog, of course, though I'm not quite sure what it really is. It tells me to leave me alone if I only do what it asks. All I must do, it says, is to spread the word. A week after my incident, I received in the mail a manila envelope with no return address. Without having to check, I knew precisely what was on it. Though for a long time I thought about my options. I could show it to a stranger, a coworker, I could even show it to Terrence. But the idea disgusted me. So I did nothing for 15 years, though I kept the diskette hidden amongst my things. I sincerely hope that you will forgive me, Mr. L. But last summer when you contacted me and my husband about the interview, I was near the breaking point. I decided I was going to give you the floppy diskette. I did not care if Smile.dog was lying or not. I wanted it to end. You were a stranger, someone I had no connection with, and I thought I would not feel any sorrow when you took the diskette as part of your research and sealed your fate. Before you arrived, I realized what I was doing. I was plotting to ruin your life, and I could not stand the thought, and I still can't. I'm ashamed, Mr. L, and I hope that this warning will dissuade you from further investigation of smile.jpg. Stop while you are still whole.
Thanks for coming on such short notice.
Oh, no problem. How's Mary doing?
That's exactly why I called, actually. Mary's dead. She killed herself 3 weeks ago. I guess she just couldn't handle the torment.
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
I found a floppy disk a week ago while I was going through all her old stuff.
Well, what did you do with it?
Well, I have it with me, but it's your report, so I'll let you decide what we do with it.
I decided that, for a time at least, I would not further pursue the subject of the smile.jpg. The world has an odd way of testing us. Almost a full year after I'd returned from my disastrous interview with Mary, I received another email.
I found your email address through a mailing list. Your profile said you're interested in Smile.dog. I've seen it. It's not as bad as everyone says it is. I've sent it to you here. Just spreading the word.
The final line chilled me to the bone.
I considered downloading it for some time. It was most likely a fake, I imagined, and even if it weren't,
I was never wholly convinced of smile.jpg's particular powers. And if such things were patently absurd, then why did the legend exist at all? If I downloaded the image, if I were to look at it, and if Mary turned out to be correct, if smile.dog came to me in my dreams demanding I spread the word, what would I do? If I went through with my earlier intention to write a short article about smile.jpg, I decided I could attach it as evidence. And anyone who read the article, anyone who took interest would be affected.